looking too. That's big.
The schoolhouse for both of these airplanes. It's there that they train new crews on how to implement these aircraft in all regimes of flight. Today's demonstration will be about 20 minutes in duration and will showcase to you both the 135 and the C-17 and a variety of flight attitudes and maneuvers. And we are so thrilled to have them here with us today. They're going to continue to work their way down and are currently back taxiing on runway 28. Here at the Rochester International Airport, we in fact have 3 runways. We have runway 28, also runway 10, runway 422, and we have runway 725. In fact, where we're sitting right now is in fact on one of those runways. That's runway 725. It's about 4,000 feet long. And we're launching a couple of our aircraft in our big runway. Depending on which side of the runway that you're pointing, depends on how you're lined up to magnetic north with a particular heading. So in the case of runway 22 that they're working to work their way out to right now, that is on a magnetic heading of 220 degrees. Now if you're at the other end of the runway, that would be the magnetic heading of 040. And for the purposes of simplicity, we knocked off that last 0, hence that makes the runway numbers. Right now, they're going to get their way into position as we're a few moments away from launching these airplanes for their full demonstration today. We've got lots more to come following this. The Quicksilver P-51 Mustang, flown by Scott Scooter Yoke, a tribute to our veterans. And we'll see at 2 o'clock the F-16 Fighting Falcon and the Viper demo team. Captain Taylor FEMA Easter is the demonstration pilot for the Viper demo, and we'll be seeing a very loud and proud display by what goes down in history as one of the most prolific modern fighters of all time. As the KC-135 Stratotanker climbs to prepare for today's demonstration, we now turn our attention to the right. We are pleased to present today's performance by the C-17 demonstration team from Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. Today's demonstration is commanded by Captain Tyler Moore, along with Major Joel Courtwright and Captain Andrew Butler. The loadmasters today are Technical Sergeant Eddie Raines and Staff Sergeant Daniel Lawrence. This extremely experienced crew has a combined total of over 12,000 flying hours in a variety of U.S. Air Force aircraft. To begin today's demonstration, the crew will perform a maximum effort takeoff and climb, demonstrating the Globemaster 3's ability to operate from short and austere airfields. Ladies and gentlemen, on the takeoff roll from the 97th Air Mobility Wing at Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma, presenting the Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3. The C-17 made its first flight in September of 1991. Since then, the aircraft has set over 30 world records, including payload to altitude, time to climb, and the longest airdrop mission in history. Its new age design includes a modernized, computerized glass cockpit, heads-up displays at both pilot stations, and an advanced cargo handling system allowing it to operate with a crew of half the size of similar cargo-carrying aircraft.
Right, so,
The crew is now positioning for a high-speed pass. With the aircraft capable of accelerating to over 350 miles an hour, this pass will demonstrate the extremely powerful engines of this magnificent jet. Ladies and gentlemen, look to the left for an aircraft the size of a hotel. It's the C-17 Glowmaster 3. Notice just how quiet the C-17 is on a path to show center. This gives the operators a tactical advantage while flying low over hostile territory and allows for more suitable operations at airfields near heavily populated cities. This reliable airlifter combines the intercontinental cargo carrying capabilities of large aircraft such as the C-5 Galaxy with the short field landing potential of the much smaller C-130 Hercules. The C-17 is powered by 4 Pratt & Whitney F-117 engines. These are the same engines used on the Boeing 757 airliner. Each engine delivers more than 40,000 pounds of thrust, and this amount of thrust allows the Glowmaster 3 to carry over 170,000 pounds of cargo for an outstanding range of over 2,400 nautical miles without air-to-air refueling. The aircraft will now perform a slow-speed pass at a mere 120 knots. Notice the wing leading edge slats and large powered lift wing flaps. These devices literally change the shape of the wing and are key to its final low approach speed, enabling the aircraft to land and stop in very short distances. Be sure to get your cameras out at the ready, as this will be your best photo opportunity to take pictures of this amazing state-of-the-art airlifter in flight. From the right at just 120 miles an hour, the C-17 and the slow speed pass. The C-17 will now maneuver for a circle over the airfield, showcasing its ability to fly at slow speeds and demonstrate its advanced aerodynamics in action. The aircraft utilizes a quadruple redundant fly-by-wire system for the operation of its flight controls. This combined with 4 separate flight control computers are each capable of controlling the entire system independently. Another feature of this amazing flight control system is that the aircraft can also be flown entirely in mechanical backup mode, further safeguarding against abnormal situations. Turned wingtips, known as winglets. They decrease aerodynamic drag and increase fuel economy. To give you a better idea of this aircraft's overall size, those winglets are nearly 9 feet tall. And if you're wondering just how big the C-17 is, the wingspan roughly 170 feet, the tail is over 5 stories tall. When fully loaded, C-17 weighs in at over 580,000 pounds. And to further give you an idea of that 170-foot wingspan, the entirety of the first flight of the Wright brothers could have taken a place within the wingspan of this aircraft. As you can see, the C-17 is extremely maneuverable, both high and low speeds, making it easy to operate in nearly any tactical situation. This aircraft can fly anywhere in the world non-stop using its air-to-air refueling capability. Air Force personnel routinely fly 24-hour missions with the C-17 with a single crew on board. The most basic crew required to operate the Globemaster III is merely 2 pilots and 1 loadmaster. You may have also noticed some 14 tires on board the aircraft. Its heavy-duty landing gear allows it to land on surfaces such as cement, sand, dirt, and even ice. And as a result of this, C-17s have been in over 180 countries and literally every continent in the world since production began. Now position and rejoin with the KC-135 aerial demonstration team for an air-to-air refueling pass, followed by a short KC-135 demonstration. The 97th Air Mobility Wing at Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma has the unique mission of training the world's C-17 and KC-135 pilots, loadmasters, and boom operators. It ultimately allows both aircraft to enhance the Air Force's capability to accomplish its mission of global reach and global power. Air refueling allows the aircraft to fly around the globe in just a matter of hours without the need to land. Both crews today are comprised of formal training unit instructors from the mighty 97th Air Mobility Wing. And again, as they approach from our left at 300 miles an hour, we will bring the aircraft down to just 1,500 feet above the ground. The boom extended. It is the item on the aircraft that allows the transfer of fuel at a rapid rate. Laying in the back of the aircraft is also that of the boom operator, who is indeed flying this boom using a series of hand controls. Here they come now from the left, the KC-135 and the C-17 in the pre-contact position. And there's the break. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Let's put our hands together for our United States Air Force. As the aircraft break up formation now, the Stratotank is maneuvering for a landing attitude demonstration. As they do so, I'd like to introduce the pilots flying for you on board today. They are Majors John Zeppick, David Rowe, and Matthew Crandall. They're also assisted on board by boom operator Tech Sergeant Alice Squivel and Eric Lucille. Stratotank provides aerial refueling with the U.S. Air Force and has slowed this role for more than 60 years. The KC-135 is now maneuvering for a low-speed pass within within 10 feet of the runway surface. Its low-hanging engines on the aircraft provide 18 inches of clearance from the ground. This landing attitude demonstration is performed to show student pilots the proper landing picture for a safe touchdown. The aircraft limited to only 4 degrees and will bank upon landing, making it a very challenging aircraft to land in windy and gusty crosswind conditions. To the right, Captain Butler will now demonstrate the very short landing distance of the C-17. Watch as they quickly recover, stop the aircraft, go into reverse thrust, where you will see a variety of panels open up on the cells of those turbofan engines as the aircraft can actually taxi backwards under its own power. From Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma, let's put our hands together for the C-17 Globemaster III. The KC-135 now on a right turn over the airfield as it maneuvers to land. Air Mobility Command manages an inventory of some 414 Stratotankers. One of the interesting facts about the KC-135 Stratotanker is that it holds a variety of world records for its job of, well, passing gas. And that includes the most air refuelings in 1 week, with over 290 aircraft refueled and over 1 million pounds of jet fuel offloaded. It's been flying for decades. Currently, the U.S. Air Force has no plans to retire this very steadfast air refueling. Some 14 miles of wire are on board the KC-135. A series of similar variations of the Boeing 707 platform have been modified to perform the roles of reconnaissance and aerial command relay, helping to keep America safe and doing so effectively and efficiently. Depending on the aircraft's gross weight and configuration, the Stratotanker will land airspeeds between 135 and 160 miles an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's demonstration on behalf of the men and women of the United States Air Force, Air Education and Training Command at Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. In the case that we work our way down even into worse conditions, say 1,500 feet, we have what is known as a flat show, which will very much be passes from left to right, and it allows us to operate and perform the air show in nearly every weather condition. As we get a couple of the airliners work their way back in, we are doing a hack time at this moment for our next aerial demonstration. That will be the U.S. Air Force F-16 Fighting Falcon taking place at 2 o'clock here today. But joining us right now on the stand, a couple of individuals who also have had the chance to fly in our show today. And the first is that of Doug Rosendahl. He is from Mason City, Iowa.
For over 30 years, it's not often I get to do a venue that I've never been before, and so that's extra special and exciting.
One of those prevalent were the D models with the bubble canopy, but the C models got some differences. Tell us a little bit.
That's right. Well, first of all, the most noticeable is a razorback or a fastback airplane. It does not have that bubble canopy, and so the visibility is not as good. And the other thing is it has 4